In a targeted strike attributed to the armed forces of Ukraine, the town of Rylsk in Russia's Kursk region was hit by what appears to be a precision-guided attack using the US-supplied Himars rocket system. The strike reportedly hit a building that Russian officials initially described as a house of culture, a civilian facility. According to Russian authorities, the strike left one person dead and 3 others injured. Eyewitnesses on the ground stated that the building was completely engulfed in flames following the impact. There was rocket fire, as a result of which the House of Culture is completely on fire. 3 wounded people were taken to hospital, 1 dead, burned. This is preliminary information, said one witness. However, the civilian narrative was quickly contradicted by Russian military-linked sources. The prominent pro-war Telegram channel Northern Channel acknowledged that the building had indeed been housing Russian troops, a practice that has become increasingly common along Russia's western border. Rilsk, 4 Himars missiles. The building did indeed house our military, like hundreds of other civilian facilities across the border. Another salute to the command and their approach to choosing deployment sites, the channel wrote, criticizing Russian military leadership. The strike, footage of which has been circulating on Telegram via the channel Ukraine 365, underscores Kiev's continued capability to reach deep into Russian territory and target military infrastructure, even when disguised within civilian environments. This incident also raises ongoing concerns about Russia's use of civilian buildings for military purposes, a tactic that not only blurs the lines between combatant and non-combatant targets, but also invites scrutiny under international humanitarian law. As the war continues, the Rylsk strike reflects both the precision capabilities of Western-supplied Ukrainian systems and the increasing vulnerability of Russian rear areas once considered relatively safe. Russians about the strike in Rilsk. We cannot recall a case where the official mouthpiece of the Northern Guard admitted that the crests with their Himars did not hit the sky, or a residential building with a kindergarten, but actually hit a military facility. Many of our officers died after such attacks from the 810th Brigade, the 22nd MSIS, the same long-suffering 155. We could make active links to our messages, but there would be too many of them. This time, the arrival could not be ignored. Too many officers with high epaulets were in one place and would be too difficult to hide their deaths, although they would have wanted to stay hidden. This cultural and leisure center was not the first time that meetings were held, always with an above-average level of organization, and commanders came to them with pleasure. Was it a secret for anyone? The number of cool cars near the community center indicated that it was not a congress of collective farmers from the Rilsk region. The observance of basic camouflage rules was given a big nod, the kind that ally big shoulder straps can afford. It is possible that someone leaked the location of the meeting. The issue of rafting in the GV North is not closed, but in any case, this is a great tragedy. Sincere condolences to the relatives of the deceased 155th Marine Brigade. Ukraine's Air Force spokesperson Yuri Ichnat confirmed that Patriot missile systems operated at 100% effectiveness, intercepting all 4 out of 4 Kinjal missiles targeting the Rivne region.
If we have armed Patriot systems, then accordingly they performed 100% today, so we need be happy about this result, truly to thank our defense forces for effectively using American Patriot weapons once again. It is clear that we need more such systems.
Yelabuga, Tatarstan. Russian air defense fails to intercept a drone. In Yelabuga, Shahed-type kamikaze drones are being produced. The Ukrainian Air Force has released footage showing how mobile fire teams in Odessa region destroyed 7 Shahed drones overnight.
Yes. Yes, Peter. Yes, Peter.
In Kiev, a helicopter of the State Emergency Service had to be used to extinguish a fire caused by the Russian attack. In the latest wave of Russian missile attacks on Kiev, several districts suffered damage from falling debris after Ukrainian air defenses intercepted incoming missiles. Explosions were heard across the city during the early morning hours, with reports of at least 5 people injured. Residential buildings, cars, and sections of civilian infrastructure were damaged, particularly in the Dniprovsky and Desnyansky districts. Emergency services responded quickly, containing fires and helping evacuate residents. While Ukraine's air defense successfully shot down most of the missiles, the psychological toll on civilians remains high. These attacks are part of a broader Russian campaign aimed at exhausting Ukrainian defenses and destabilizing life in the capital. Odessa was also subjected to a horrific overnight bombardment. Reports indicate that several people were killed and others injured. Among the damaged structures are a maternity hospital, an emergency medical station, a private medical clinic, a sports complex, a zoo, and the railway station building.
Там горит в квартире. Ебать.
Все горит, 2 машины сгорело нахуй. Все горит, все люди тут пизда, тут есть умершие походу. Это пизда. Просто пиздец.
Musk's father came to Moscow and said it's an incredible city. Well then, let him stay there.
Is this your first time in Moscow? And if so, what are your thoughts on the city thus far?
Yes, this is the first time I've been in Moscow, and I'm very cross with myself that I haven't been here before. Not that I wouldn't have wanted to come. I have always wanted to come, but this opportunity came up, and I'm absolutely amazed. I can't believe the size of Moscow, how clean everything is, how beautiful the roads are, and wide. And whoever planned the city must have been very, very smart. And the buildings, you know, are reminiscent of ancient Rome. You know, the images or pictures we have of Rome. And I think the whole world should know more about Moscow. I mean, this is completely wrong. You know, we are given to understand that Moscow is this or that and this and that. But in fact, it's actually quite wonderful. And what's really interesting for me, the first thing I noticed is small children and women walking about everywhere, in the gardens, in the parks, completely, apparently very safe and happy. And, you know, that image will stay with me, you know, forever.
Thank you so much.
Zelensky stated that Hungary showed interest in the locations of Ukraine's air defense systems and military units. How should we respond to this during wartime? I am not saying that Budapest wants something, but if not, then for whom is it gathering this information? I asked NATO representatives whether they had requested Hungary to collect data on such matters. They said no. And while he is spying Ukraine to help his master in Moscow, new footage sparks outrage for Orban. Hungarian police stopped an ambulance in Budapest to let a motorcade of one of Viktor Orban's friends arriving at CPAC Hungary pass. The Slovak ambassador's car is seen in the convoy, likely carrying Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico, the other Putin's lapdog in Europe. Social media erupts.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.